Yeah, I remember. Time Mr. and Mrs. Dickens planted the first apple tree here at the Dickens orchard. Mr. Dickens said he would press no cider before the fruit was ripened to absolute perfection. Then it happened. That old orchard yielded the juiciest, most delicious apples we ever did see. That was 50 years ago. That was the first time I ever had a Dickens cider. I'll never forget that first Dickens cider. I was 17 and I think Dorothy was 16. I think that was Dorothy's first Dickens cider too.
I start every day with a Dickens cider. At breakfast or later in the day, a Dickens cider is the perfect pick-me-up.
My first Dickens cider? Geez, I remember hearing how great a Dickens cider was before I actually had one. It was an old friend that let me have a Dickens cider. I was so excited with anticipation, I spilled it all over me.
The other day, my husband's friend asked him why we both seem so healthy and happy all the time. He told him, easy, my wife doesn't let me go a day without a Dickens cider. And she enjoys the rejuvenating effects of a wholesome, delicious Dickens cider, too. Dickens cider.
Dickens cider.
Everybody loves a Dickens cider.
From the famous Dickens apple orchards of Maine, get that old-fashioned, down-home feel of a Dickens cider. You can get a Dickens cider almost anywhere. Just look for the label with the donkey on it, or, as they say at the orchard up in Maine, the Dickens cider ass. Oh, Dickens cider from Dickens, a subsidiary of Good Swift.
It's Tommy and Rumble on him.
are swollen. Keep them doggies rolling raw hard. For rain and wind and weather, hell bent for leather. Wishing my gal was by my side. All the things I'm missing, good pillows, love and kissing, are waiting at the end of my life. Come on, hit 'em up, hit 'em up. Move on, hit 'em up. Rawhide, cut 'em out, ride 'em in, cut 'em out, cut 'em out, ride 'em in rawhide. Keep them doggies moving rawhide. Don't try to understand them, just rope, throw, and brand them. Soon we'll be living high and wide. My heart's been broken, my true love will be waiting at the end. Move 'em on, hit 'em up, move 'em on, hit 'em up, rawhide. Cut 'em out, ride 'em in, cut 'em out, ride 'em in rawhide. Move 'em on, hit 'em up, move 'em on, rawhide. Cut 'em out, ride 'em in, cut 'em out, ride 'em in rawhide. Delta Radio, Empire Day.
8:55 Eastern Daylight Time and Elmer Davis in the news. Brought to you tonight by the Joint Safety Razor Company. Just time to tell you that today's improved electric blade, made of steel hard enough to cut glass, has the sharpest edges ever produced. That's why it gives you the quickest, easiest shave ever. Ask your dealer for the best blue blade. Today is the German the Low Country. The match is only very moderate and fast. Both Dutch and Belgians are resisting seriously, and the Belgians have already been reinforced by strong mechanized columns of British and French troops from the Western Front, responding to the call for help sent out by both small nations after they were invaded. Dutch and Belgian high commands tonight flatly say the invasion has failed. German advance has been greatest where Holland and Belgium meet. Pick up the Dutch city of Maastricht, formed across the protectorship of Dutch territory, and say they have taken some bridges on the Albert Canal in northern Belgium. Farther south, they claim to have occupied the town of Malmedy, lost to Belgium by the Treaty of Versailles. Attacks on France and Belgium through Luxembourg have been stopped so far at the frontier. The invasion of the Netherlands seems to have been held in the Eifel River, where the town of Arnhem has resisted German attacks. And many, if not most, of the parachute troops dropped all over Holland before dawn this morning have been mopped up by squads of Dutch machine gunners traveling in fast automobiles. The German claim this morning that the Dutch capital, The Hague, had been captured by troops landed on the beach was not correct. Dutch troops and warships repulsed them. Parachute troops dropped a few miles from Queen Wilhelmina's palace with the apparent intention of seizing the Dutch sovereign, were stopped, our correspondent Edwin Harkridge reported in an earlier broadcast, by Dutch soldiers who fought them off in the tulip fields. Around Amsterdam, too, the parachute invaders seem to have been beaten off, but there is still fierce fighting going on in the streets of Rotterdam, the chief Dutch port. The German invasion was preceded by swarms of air raiders who attacked first, following the precedent set in Poland, Dutch and Belgian airfields, and also bombed far and wide over France. More than 20 French cities, ranging from Dunkirk and Calais on the Channel to Lyon in the south, were raided. And while apparently here too airfields, or in some cases radio transmitters, were the primary objective, the French government said that more than 50 civilians were killed. Raids on Paris and on the mouth of the Thames seem to have been purely for reconnaissance, but incendiary bombs were dropped on a town in southeastern England. A raid on Brussels early this morning burned several apartment houses and killed civilians. But after a Belgian protest that Brussels was an open town without troops, the Germans promised not to attack it if it remained so. A late dispatch from The Hague says that no attacks seem yet to have occurred in Holland on non-military objectives. This afternoon, however, the Germans claimed that the German city of Freiburg im Breisgau, also an open town, had been bombed and 24 civilians killed. And each side warns of reprisals if the other doesn't stop it. An air raid alarm was reported from Paris about an hour ago, and all over England, people have been warned to be on guard tonight against parachute troops dropping during the blackout.
Cover me!
The only bombs dropped on Switzerland appear to have been a mistake, but the Swiss are conducting a general mobilization nonetheless. And just before all this began, the British announced that they had occupied Iceland, so far as we know, without protest, to prevent its seizure by Germany. Winston Churchill has replaced Neville Chamberlain as British Prime Minister and will form a coalition cabinet. Its membership has not yet been announced, but Chamberlain will stay in it somewhere. Resigning, Chamberlain said that new and drastic action must be taken to restore confidence. The French Premier Reynaud took into his cabinet the prominent extreme conservatives Louis Marin and Jean Barnegaray. Italy is still quiet, and a broadcast on the Rome radio this evening says that it was the blockade more than anything else which prompted Germany to carry the war into new regions where little resistance was expected. This is in flat contradiction of the reasons given by the Nazi leaders for the invasion. Ribbentrop's claim that occupation of the Low Countries anticipated by only a day an Allied attack on Germany with Dutch and Belgian consent, and Goebbels' argument that the Dutch and Belgian governments had plotted a revolution in Germany. And that's the news to this moment.
8:55 Eastern Daylight Time. And Columbia and its affiliated stations bring you Elmer Davis and the news.
German land forces today made some small gains, but their advance is not yet very impressive. This is a three-dimensional war, however, and their command of the air has enabled them to make plenty of trouble in both Holland and Belgium. Parachute troops were dropped at more than 25 places in the Netherlands today, and Brussels reported that German planes were flying over almost without interruption, distributing parachutists over Belgium.
most cases, these small detachments seem to have been killed or captured. But besides the actual damage they do and the interruption of communications, they compel the detachment of a considerable number of troops to deal with them. And in the Netherlands, at least, this diversion is beginning to be a serious danger. Principal centers of the parachute attack today were Rotterdam and The Hague. Swarms of parachute troops were dropped there through the day, and the Germans still hold part of Rotterdam, including the Walhaven airport. This was heavily bombed again by British planes, and apparently is of little use as a landing field. But our correspondent Edwin Hartridge reported earlier that many Germans had got into Rotterdam on merchant ships under the Swedish flag, and hard fighting apparently goes on in the downtown part of the city. The Dutch hold The Hague, but have had to fight not only parachute troops, but Germans and citizens foes who have been firing from house windows, and this morning made an unsuccessful raid on the police station. The plain clothes and the Dutch uniforms used by some of the Germans, it must be hard for the defenders to know just who to fight. The German radio tonight claims that parachute troops dropped on the Belgian coast have forced their way into the town of Ostend. Nothing has been heard of this from Allied sources. It may be true and maybe not. On land, the Germans have crossed the Eifel River near Arnhem and claimed the capture of that town, though the Dutch dispute this. In northeastern Holland, where Dutch plans never contemplated serious defense, the invaders have reached Groningen. The principal success claimed by the Germans today was the capture of a strategically important Belgian fort near Liège, which they say was taken by some new tactics, apparently including air bombing, which proved that modern fortifications can be captured by modern methods. And east of the Moselle, an entire German division made what seems to have been a demonstration rather than an attack on the Maginot Line. The French withdrew from their advanced posts, and against heavy artillery fire, the German attack was not threatened. There were several air raids on Amsterdam with many casualties, and bombs dropped on Brussels, which the German deputy promised to let alone. Mostly, however, the air forces on both sides were busy bombing communications. Allied planes raided bridges, railroad junctions, and airfields on the lower Rhine, and the German attacks on many towns in France were chiefly directed against airfields. Both sides, that is, seem to be sticking for the most part to the attack on military objectives, but of course there are civilian casualties. The French reported 148 civilians killed and more than 300 wounded today, and the Germans report several dozen casualties from the lower Rhine towns. Both British and French have denied the German story that the open town of Freiburg was bombed yesterday, but German radio announcers are saying tonight that Germany's facing a loss. Apparently the Dutch, Belgians, and French are expected to go on. And there was news of air fighting in Norway. The British say they bombed the German cruiser off Bergen. The Germans say they hit a British battleship and cruiser off Norway. Winston Churchill has not yet finished making up his cabinet, but he will be Minister of Defense himself, and will be associated in an inner war cabinet with Lord Halifax, the Foreign Minister, and with ex-Premier Chamberlain and the Labour leaders Attlee and Greenwood, these last three having no departmental duties. Anthony Eden, former Foreign Secretary, is to be Minister of War. A.B. Alexander, Labourite, is head of the Admiralty, and Sir Archibald Sinclair, the Liberal leader, is Air Minister. Moore, Simon, and Stanley are out. British and French Marines landed today in the Dutch West Indies to request the Dutch government to guard the oil refinery. In Washington, it was said that so long as the Dutch government had requested it, this action involved no violation of the Monroe Doctrine. As for the Dutch East Indies, the Japanese Foreign Minister Arita repeated to diplomats today that it was a vital interest of Japan to preserve the status quo, and Secretary Hull repeated his recent statement that any disturbance there would be prejudicial to the security of the whole Pacific area. The White House reports that comments received on President Roosevelt's speech last night were more than 90% favorable. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
money too. If you had prepared 20 years ago, you wouldn't be wandering now from door to door. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here and get me some money too. I fell for your jiving and I took you in. Now all you got to offer me is a drink of gin. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here and get me some money too. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Like some other men do. Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. The music loud, women walk, being kicked around since I was born. Never tolerate, I don't hate, and you may look the other way, but we can try to understand and do your time, not bad, not bad. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a nothing, staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive.
Got the 230 caliber machine guns, 17 grenades, 11 Hawkins mines. Got the 2 bazookas, but only got 8 rounds left. Assorted small arms. We had a 60 mortar, but Artie round took it out.
Might as well be spitwads if they're rolling us with tanks.
Which they're sure to do.
What you thinking, sir?
Well, I'm thinking they're gonna try to whip around the flanks. Unless we can draw them up this main road here in between these buildings where all the rubble makes a bit of a bottleneck.
Disable him?
If we can, make that tank a 60-ton roadblock, we do that. We got a fighting chance at the flanks.
Yes, sir, that's gonna split them up, don't let them mass.
Hit them hard we can, one-on-one, and fall back to the bridge.
Machine gun on the move down here, number 2 up high somewhere, pistol bad news down on their heads.
That would be the idea. Jackson, if we can, I'd like to get you up in that bell tower.
Yes, sir.
Give you a little company if you need it.
Yes, sir. Some company couldn't hurt. I'd say, a 30 with about 1,000 rounds would be okay.
Parker, job opportunity.
Yeah, well, it's not the worst idea ever, Captain. It's just that everything depends on getting a tank down this main road for us to knock out, right? So how the hell do you plan on doing that?
Ryman's right. As our esteemed colleague from the airborne pointed out, what we got here are a bunch of spitwads. So how do we stop the tank if we get it to commit?
Give it a rapid chase. We could hit the tank in the tracks.
Yeah, but with what?
We could try a sticky bomb.
Sticky bomb, sir?
Sir, are you making that up?
No, it's in the field manual. You can check it out if you want to.
Well, we seem to be out of field manuals, sir. Perhaps you could enlighten us.
All right, you have some demolition, don't you? Some TMT or some Composition B?
Yeah, that, sir, is the one thing we got plenty of. I got that bridge wire with enough Composition B to blow it twice.
All right, you can spare some then. You take a standard issue GI sock, cram it with as much Comp B as it can hold, rig up a simple fuse, and you coat the whole thing with axle grease. That way, when you throw it, it should stick. It's a bomb that sticks. It's a sticky bomb. Come up with a better way to knock the tracks off a tank, I'm all ears.
This is good. Now we gotta surrender our socks.
fire. Crossfire was 1 in the bell tower.
Alright, cover 12 to 9 from here. Here are the mines.
For being the best we can do, the forward machine gun's not in a terrible firing position. This position right here, this is the Alamo. They push us back this far, last man alive blows the bridge.
Now, we only got a 30-second delay on that fuse, so let everyone know that if you are that last man, you better hurry your ass off or you're not gonna be alive long.
Captain, where am I during all this?
Never more than 2 feet away from me. That's not negotiable.
Get some ammo. Come on. Hey, Upton.
Yes.
Listen to me, all right?
Yes.
You listening?
Yes.
All right. We're gonna be displacing and falling back like crazy sons of bitches. So you gotta be Johnny on the spot with the ammo. Or we're dead.
Right.
You understand that?
Johnny on the spot.
Yeah? You all right?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes. You know, when we were shipping out of England, the supply started just handing out cartons of cigarettes. I said, no, thank you, I don't smoke.
Quite a situation, huh? Unbelievable. Yeah. Fucked up beyond all recognition, right?
Got that right.
Oh. Ouch. Yeah, well, it's gonna be a real show, huh? Yeah, okay. Take it easy.
Prison camp in Auschwitz, Poland, Russian soldiers discovered mass graves as far as the eye can see. It is estimated that these graves contain the remains of thousands upon thousands of the Third Reich's prisoners. Prisoners who likely succumbed to the same malnourishment and mistreatment that was endured by the survivors. More on this tragic revelation as it unfolds. For Press Radio News, I'm Lowell
Cover
Harris.
me!
Everything that you did to me, and I, you're my baby.
Press Radio News, I'm Lowell Harris. Allied forces flexed their muscle on January 16th as they pushed back the Ardennes offensive, which was launched by Nazi troops in December. New reports indicate that the German armor has been left in pieces as the Allies continue their march toward Berlin, and victory gets even closer to fruition. For Press Radio News, I'm Lowell Harris.
Warlord ain't it cold, but I'm not gonna holler, 'cause I still got $1, and when I get low, oh, I get high. My man walked out, now you know that ain't right, well, he better watch out if I meet him tonight. I said when I get low, oh, I get high. All this hard luck in this town has found me. Nobody knows how double goes round around me. Oh, I'm all alone with no one petting me. But old rockin' chair ain't never gonna get me, 'cause when I get low, oh, I get
Hi, man. How you doing? Drinking wine,
I'm Lowell Harris. The fighting in Eastern Europe leans more and more towards the Allies' favor as Soviet soldiers have liberated the city of Budapest after nearly 2 months of fierce fighting, defeating a Nazi garrison that was impeding their progress toward the German border. Soldiers of the Red Army are now on a downhill trek to the Neisse River and are likely hoping to arrive before the Nazis can sabotage the bridges in a last-ditch effort to slow the inevitable invasion. For Press Radio News, I'm Lowell Harris.
Roosevelt said in a statement today that the Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, from the air. I'll repeat that. President Roosevelt says that the Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor in Hawaii from the air.
We will interrupt all programs to give you latest news bulletin. Stay tuned to this station.
Ladies and gentlemen, a special announcement. The entire regular personnel of the Sheriff's and Police Office has been placed with 12 volunteers. All auxiliary personnel are directed to stand by for emergency instruction. The regular county defense program is functioning in an orderly manner, and citizens are urged to remain calm and avoid all unnecessary confusion because of hysteria. Citizen volunteers are asked to go quietly to their nearest police or fire stations and offer their services if they wish to help. There is no immediate cause for alarm, and coolness will accomplish more than anything else.
We return you now to Hollywood.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Fire stations and offer their services if they wish to help. There is no immediate cause for alarm, and coolness will accomplish more than anything else.
We return you now to Hollywood.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Honolulu. Several planes have been shot down, and anti-aircraft gunnery is very heavy. All lines of communication seem to be down between the various Army posts. Everyone here on the islands were taken by surprise by the attack, and even yet it's difficult for our air raid on these beautiful islands has actually happened, and that lives have been lost. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, several squadrons of Japanese planes came in from the south, dropping bombs and incendiary bombs over the city. One bomb dropped in front of the governor's mansion. Traffic is almost a standstill. At Pearl Harbor, 3 ships were attacked. The Oklahoma was set afire. There is great activity there now in clearing the debris. The governor has proclaimed a state of emergency. The Army has issued orders for all people, the civilian population, to remain on the streets. After machine gunning Ford Island, the first Japanese planes moved to Hickam Field. There were 350 men killed in a direct bomb hit on the barracks at Hickam Field.
A bulletin from New York. The Japanese took over the American Shanghai Power and Light Company this morning. This news came hours after the bombing of Honolulu.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Together, dum ba da 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 dee 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 da dum. Bang, 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 bam, 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 da da. Da da ya, da da ya, da da ya, da da ya.
Off the air suddenly while he was talking about air raid shelters, possibly because of censorship. In communication with Columbia's radio station, KGMB, an attack has been reported. This one has been made on the Army and Navy bases in Manila. And here's a last-minute Associated Press flash from Honolulu. A naval engagement is in progress off Honolulu with at least one black enemy aircraft carrier in action against the Pearl Harbor defenses.
I was sitting in my basement. I just rolled myself a taste of something green and gold and glorious to get me through the day. Then my friend yelled through the transom, grab your coat and get your hat, son. There's a nut down on the corner giving dollar bills away. But I laid around a bit and I had another hit, and I wrote myself a bomber, then I thought about my mama, then I fooled around, played around, jacked around a while, and then I got stoned and I missed it. I got stoned and I missed it. I got stoned and it rolled right by, rolled right on by. I got stoned and I missed it. I got stoned and I missed it. I got stoned, oh me, oh my. Now it took 7 months of virgin just to get that local virgin with a sweet face up to my place to fool around a bit. The next day she woke up rosy and she snuggled up so cozy. When she asked me how I liked it, Lord, it hurt me to admit. I was stoned, I missed it. I was stoned, I was stoned, and it rolled right by. Where'd it go? I was stoned, and I missed it. I was stoned, and I missed it. I was stoned, oh me, oh my. I ain't making no excuses for the many things I uses just to sweeten my relationships and brighten up my day. But when my earthly race is over and I'm ready for the clover, and they ask me how my life has been, I guess I'll have to say I was stoned and I missed it. I was stoned and I missed it. I was stoned and it rolled right by. I was stoned. I was stoned. I was stoned. Oh me, oh my.
You can't sing like that.
Secretary Early informed all correspondents and then rushed to the White House to be with President Roosevelt. The announcement was made. Two Japanese envoys, Ambassador Nomura and Special Emissary Kurosu, were at the State Department. Columbia's correspondent in London, Bob Stout, heard the news for the first time from our report from New York. Up to that moment, or very shortly before then, the British capital had not been informed of the Japanese attack on the Hawaiian Islands and on Manila. In view of Prime Minister Churchill's recent pledge that a British declaration of war on Japan would follow almost immediately upon the outbreak of war between Japan and the United States, a British announcement is expected soon. Columbia's correspondent, Ford Wilson, was put on the air in CBS's regular 2:30 news program on Sunday afternoon from Manila. He was cut off the air suddenly while he was talking about air raid shelters, possibly because of censorship. In communication with Columbia's radio station, KGMB in Honolulu, we heard here in New York that the Pearl Harbor base had been attacked and anti-aircraft fire was heard. A telephone message to the United Press from Fort Schaefer in Hawaii said that 50 planes had left the island of Oahu. The planes were officially described in these messages, although later reports that have come in from the press associations definitely identify at least 2 of these planes as carrying the emblem of the rising sun, the emblem of Japan.
Get out of here!
Hit 'em up. Move 'em on. Move 'em on. Hit 'em up. Rawhide. Cut 'em out. Ride 'em in. Ride 'em in. Cut 'em out. Cut 'em out. Ride 'em in. Rawhide. Keep moving, moving, moving. Though they're disapproving. Keep them doggies moving. Rawhide. Don't try to understand them. Just rope, throw, and brand them. Soon we'll be living high and wide. My heart's calculating. My true love will be waiting. Be waiting at the end of the ride. Move 'em on. Hit 'em up. Hit 'em up. Move 'em on. Move 'em on. Hit 'em up. Rawhide. Cut 'em out. Ride 'em in. Ride 'em in. Cut 'em out. Cut 'em out. Ride 'em in. Rawhide. Move 'em on. Hit 'em up. Hit 'em up. Move 'em on. Move 'em on. Hit 'em up. Rawhide. Cut 'em out. Ride 'em in. Ride 'em in. Cut 'em out. Cut 'em out. Ride 'em in. Delta Radio.
8:55 Eastern Daylight Time and Elmer Davis in the news. Brought to you tonight by the Gillette Safety Razor Company. Just time to tell you today's improved Gillette Blue Blade made it hard enough to cut glass has the sharpest edges ever produced. That's why it gives you the quickest, easiest days ever. Ask your Gillette Blue Blade.
First day of the German blitzkrieg against the Low Countries seems to have met with only very moderate success. Both Dutch and Belgians are resisting fiercely, and the Belgians have already been reinforced by strong mechanized columns of British and French troops from the Western Front, responding to the call for help sent out by both small nations after they were invaded. The Dutch and Belgian high commands tonight flatly say the invasion has failed. German advance has been greatest where Holland and Belgium meet. They took the Dutch city of Maastricht, swarmed across the projecting tip of Dutch territory, and say they have taken some bridges on the Albert Canal in northern Belgium. Farther south, they claim to have occupied the town of Malmedy, lost to Belgium by the Treaty of Versailles. Attacks on France and Belgium through Luxembourg have been stopped so far at the frontier. The invasion of the Netherlands seems to have been held at the Eifel River, where the town of Arnhem has resisted German attacks. And many, if not most, of the parachute troops dropped all over Holland before dawn this morning have been mopped up by squads of Dutch machine gunners traveling in fast automobiles. German claim this morning that the Dutch capital, The Hague, had been captured by troops landed on the beach was not correct. Dutch troops and warships repulsed. Parachute troops dropped a few miles from Queen Wilhelmina's palace with the apparent intention of seizing the Dutch sovereign, were stopped, our correspondent Edwin Hartridge reported in an earlier broadcast, by Dutch soldiers who fought them off in the tulip fields. Around Amsterdam, too, the parachute invaders seem to have been beaten off, but there is still fierce fighting going on in the streets of Rotterdam, the chief Dutch port. The German invasion was preceded by swarms of air raiders who attacked first, following the president setting Poland, Dutch and Belgian airfields, and also bombed far and wide over France. More than 20 French cities ranging from Dunkirk and Calais on the Channel to Lyon in the south were raided, and while apparently here too airfields or in some cases radio transmitters were the primary objective, the French government said that more than 50 civilians were killed. Raids on Paris and on the mouth of the Thames seem to have been purely for reconnaissance, but incendiary bombs were dropped on a town in southeastern England. A raid on Brussels early this morning burned several apartment houses and killed civilians. But after a Belgian protest that Brussels was an open town without troops, the Germans promised not to attack it if it remained so. The late dispatch from The Hague says that no attacks seem yet to have occurred in Holland on non-military objectives. This afternoon, however, the Germans claimed that the German city of Freiburg im Breisgau, also an open town, had been bombed and 24 civilians killed. And each side warns of reprisals if the other doesn't stop it. An air raid alarm was reported from Paris about an hour ago, and all over England, people have been warned to be on guard tonight against parachute troops dropping during the blackout. The only bombs dropped on Switzerland appear to have been a mistake, but the Swiss are conducting a general mobilization nonetheless. And just before all this began, the British announced that they had occupied Iceland, as far as we know, without protest, preventing seizure by Germany. Winston Churchill has replaced Neville Chamberlain as British Prime Minister and will form a coalition cabinet. Its membership has not yet been announced, but Chamberlain will stay in it somewhere. Resigning, Chamberlain said that new and drastic action must be taken to restore confidence. The French Premier Reynaud took into his cabinet the prominent extremists Louis Morin and Jean Barnacroix. Italy is still quiet, and a broadcast on the Rome radio this evening says that it was the blockade more than anything else which prompted Germany to carry the war into new regions where little resistance was expected. This is in flat contradiction of the reasons given by the Nazi leaders for the invasion. Ribbentrop's claim that occupation of the Low Countries anticipated by only a day an Allied attack on Germany with Dutch and Belgian consent, and Goebbels' argument that the Dutch and Belgian governments had plotted a revolution in Germany. And that's the news to this moment.
8:55 Eastern Daylight Time, and Columbia and its affiliated stations bring you Elmer Davis and the news.
German land forces today made some small gains, but their advance is not yet very impressive. This is a three-dimensional war, however, and their command of the air has enabled them to make plenty of trouble in both Holland and Belgium. Parachute troops were dropped at more than 25 places in the Netherlands today, and Brussels reported that German planes were flying over almost without interruption, distributing parachutists over Belgium.
This is a civil danger warning effective nationwide. Your utmost attention is required. All stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency notification message. This is not a test. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. An incoming non-terrestrial object heading directly for the Earth was spotted by the Mount Graham International Observatory in Arizona about 5 a.m. Eastern Time.
Warning. 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 A mass extinction event is imminent. All drastic steps should be taken to protect our civilization. 2 asteroids are due to collide with the Earth in the next 4 to 5 hours. Brace for the impact. Tsunamis, earthquakes, and vast clouds of dust blocking out the sun would lead to crop failure and will result in a global nuclear winter.
You have enough time to ensure your safety. Take all actions to protect your civilization. The President of the United States will address the nation shortly. The emergency alert system will remain on air to deliver future alerts to this cable channel.
A man trapped by his own body.
To Alan, to the start of his new life.
So you train monkeys exclusively for quadriplegics? How about if I were to donate a monkey?
Doesn't expose anything weird in the lab.
No.
An animal trained to follow commands.
How am I supposed to take care of it, Jeff? The idea is that it's going to take care of you. She's unbelievable. She's like a miniature person.
Give her that bird, so help me. One with the mind for revenge.
I've been so full of anger. I've had the most horrible thoughts lately. I made up a formulation based on human memory cells and injected one of the monkeys.
I don't know what this is changing you, Alan.
Hell with the instinct to kill.
What the hell are you doing to her? That was getting out of the house, and I'm getting out with her. You do know that's possible.
Man is the only animal capable of murder.
Now, she did it for me, did it because I wanted it done. Stop it!
From the director of Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero, the master of terror and suspense.
Could hurt me, I'm part of you.
Monkey shines, unknown into terror.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, he backed over my goddamn legs. Now I'm standing here with shattered fucking legs. That's all I need. I just came to in the fucking hospital here. All I remember seeing is that little friggin' cute sign you have there about the bad driving.
Okay.
Hello.
Can I get your name and number?
Ah, Christ. It's always this way with you people? Where the hell you get these drivers from? What do you pull them off the street? What is this?
Sir?
Pull them out of the subways? For Christ's sakes, this guy backed up over my legs 3 or 4 times there. They look like fucking chop meat now.
Sir, I want to help you.
Oh, Christ. Oh.
To help you, I need to get some information from you.
Go ahead, shoot. Shoot me some info. Go ahead.
I need your name and number.
I got to give you my name and number when I got some guy that, smashed me into little pieces as a human being.
Okay. Well, can you at least give me...
If you saw my legs right now, buddy, you'd probably vomit. The damn things are sick looking. It's horrible. The fucking dog will be nipping at me in a little while with these fucking legs the way they are. Okay. For Christ's sakes.
Do you have the vehicle number at all?
Ah, Christ, the vehicle number. I only was a big delivery truck or some swill or some shit was dripping out of the back of that fucking thing. I don't know.
Do you have the company name of the vehicle?
How the hell am I going to see the company name when I'm busy rolling around underneath the fucking truck?
Sir, I'm just trying to help.
Jesus Christ, you're asking me for company names and I'm laying under the fucking truck? I can give you serial numbers. That's about the best I can do for you. For Christ's sakes, the goddamn gearbox crushing me in the ground. You're asking me for the fucking, the name of the business? What do I look like, a tomcat or something? A nightcrawler? Jesus Christ. Go ahead, shoot.
Okay, if I'm gonna help you.
Oh, this is funny. You're laughing now, for Christ's sake.
No, I just need to get the vehicle.
Oh, jeez. The more I think about it, the more angry I get now. I'm laying up in a fucking hospital bed. I won't be able to get myself near a fucking bottle of hooch, and you're fucking telling me that it's a fucking joke? It's funny?
No, I'm not laughing at all, sir. I want to get some information from you.
Oh, Christ.
So I can help you.
Oh, man. Oh, man, there's this bad fucking awful stink coming off my legs here. It must have been something in the fucking marrow or something for all I know.
Okay, and what day did this happen?
Oh, man, it happened today. I just came to in the fucking hospital now. I'm just... Oh, Jesus. My friend tells me you can call the numbers on these fucking delivery boys there.
Okay. What time did this happen?
Time? How the fuck am I going to remember? You say time now. What are you, a wise guy with the time?
Okay.
I'm supposed to remember time when I'm fucking out like a light. Time.
Sir, I'm going to disconnect.
Ryan, terminate the call, please.
Hello. Ah, for Christ's sake.